What I love about light on a space is that it can tell you everything and nothing all at once. So I love finding the balance between a space being fully described. It's got all the information that you need for your brain to understand it as a three-dimensional space that you could embody. And then on the other end, it being purely geometric shapes. It could just be completely abstract. And finding the balance between those two ends is that perfect sweet spot in the middle where it makes sense to me because I've studied it for so long, but it also makes sense to the viewer who comes to it completely afresh with their own ideas of the space. And that's what the light and shadow does. It changes your perception of whether a surface is hard or soft, or is it water, or is it just reflective? And those are the things that really intrigue me. Is the floor just really shiny, or would you actually fall through it when you embody that space? So all of my work is charcoal on paper, and I love that it can be so tactile, and I use it in a very physical way. So it starts from a big chunk of compressed charcoal, and then I use it as a powder form, and I'm generally rubbing it with my hand or tissue or bits of paper. And what I love about it is the fact that you think of charcoal as being something really messy and free, and yeah, there is normally quite a lot of mess in the studio, but it's the way that you can then control it and manipulate it into doing something really precise that I love. So the inspiration for this piece came from a very large open space. It's quite reflective, and I looked for a space that had very specific lighting qualities in it because I knew that the end product was going to be very different to my normal charcoal and paper. And so it was important to me that the light source within the composition emitted from the drawing, and so that would replicate how the light box practically works. It was really interesting for me to work with a wider team. Being in your studio can be very isolating, and I normally always make all of my drawings without anyone having seen any part of the process beforehand. So it's quite a ta-da moment when a drawing goes out into the world. And so this has been really refreshing, having people's opinions and ideas and their perspective of what the space is, or how has the print quality come out? What does the paper texture look like? How everyone else feels about that has been really fun for me and very inclusive. And it's been good to work with the team to change little things, understand how it's going to technically work.